Good morning. I am Dana J. Smithers, one of the Emotion Code Divas. Um, I, Helena and I are both emotion code practitioners, certified emotion code practitioners, and we really love working with men and women and just helping them release trapped emotions. And procrastination is one of those. Um, it's kind of a feeling, actually. It's a feeling of being stuck and not being able to move forward. And Helene and I know that those are caused from a lot of negative trapped emotions, which Helena will be releasing on someone today. So our show is here to educate, inspire, heal, and release your negative trapped emotions. So you can always find the previous videos that we've done either on the TEC Divas Facebook page, or Helene and I both have our own YouTube channel, which will give you the URL for that at the end. But I also am a certified law of attraction trainer, and I'm also a certified sacred gifts guide. So Helene and I were just talking a little bit earlier about, when people are not in the right job or career, or not their fulfillment needs aren't being met, they don't feel they're living on purpose, or in terms of sacred gifts, they never feel on purpose because they don't even know what their sacred gifts are. And a lot of us end up in jobs or careers that we might have the skills for, but we definitely don't have the passion for. So we'll be talking a little bit about that today. And so now I would like to introduce my other Emotion Code Diva pal, Helena Jenikin.
Hi there, Dana. Good morning, everyone. I'm Helena Jenikin, certified clinical hypnotherapist and certified emotion code practitioner. I help men and women that would like to stop smoking from the stopsmokinglady.com, also release excess weight, and that are ready to release their anxiety, medical anxiety, social anxiety, all kinds of anxiety. And I'm also a certified emotion code practitioner, and I use the emotion code with each and every one of my hypnosis clients and also individuals.
Exactly. And I find that, with my coaching clients, and also not just coaching clients, I work with women too that are wanting to release weight, women that are just feeling kind of depressed or stuck in their life. I work with a lot of women also that are maybe going through transition. Maybe they're going through a grieving process and they just need a little extra support in how to manage and get through that. So the emotion code can be used for releasing so many negative emotions. And also, we're very clear that we're not doctors. Anyone that's doing emotion or body code, we're not here to cure anybody, but we can certainly make the journey um, as pleasant and manageable as possible by doing emotion code sessions with people. Are you seeing who's watching us there, Helena?
I'm actually noticing that my camera, my video camera, I think is looking more at the ceiling. So I'm just going to reach out and just adjust it down a little bit. It's interesting, this technology that we've got.
Yeah,
So my
yeah.
screen is looking like I'm looking at my necklace, and the
Huh,
Facebook Live
yeah,
looks like I'm looking at my forehead.
yeah,
What do you see?
yeah. And just a tiny bit of distortion, but let's go ahead and welcome Leslie Marshall.
Yep.
Good morning, Divas. Now, she said, this is a subject close to my heart. I am the worst procrastinator ever. I just thought I was lazy. I didn't know it had to do with emotions. Leslie, it has everything to do with trapped emotions. And Chris is saying hi from, I think Chris is in the States. I can't quite remember. She's been on the show before. Anyway, we're just going to go ahead and get started. And Helena, your camera looks good. So we are certified emotion code practitioners. You can also buy this book, The Emotion Code.
Mm.
Helena and I have been trained. We've gone through, in our training, we did 30 people. I've been doing emotion code now since 2016. And what we're going to talk about, the 7 keys, are in this book as well. So we're just going to actually start off with that and go through what that is. But first of all, I'll just tell you what angel card I pulled today. The angel card is ask. And it fits perfectly, I think, with procrastination, with the chaos cycle, because if you don't ask, it's very difficult for the universe to provide you with what you need. However, if you ask for this and 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 never take any action on it, the universe is going to go, well, gee, I'm not really sure how committed they are to wanting to move forward with what they're doing. So I'll just read to you what it says. So ask us to help you in this situation, and we will immediately go to work on your behalf. We're governed by many universal laws, and among them is the free will that allows you to make your own choices and decisions. So we patiently await your request. I think that's very powerful, and I think it's very important with what we're looking at. And also, just in my Law of Attraction Gratitude Journal, I have a whole section on the ask, believe, and receive process. Oops. And the reason that I put in there is because it's powerful. If you don't ask, you don't get, but also you have to believe that what you want is possible. And then, of course, you have to be able to receive it. And sometimes people may not get that perfect match, and so they go, well, Law of Attraction doesn't work. Actually, Law of Attraction does work. What you need to do is say thank you for that, and then just say next. So acknowledge that, okay, we're getting closer. It's not perfect yet, and we're in the process of attracting what we want. So Helena, let's just go quickly through the 7 keys that Dr. Bradley Nelson always refers to in his book.
Great. So the first one we have here is permission.
Absolutely. So we sometimes, as much as I might be reading someone's post on Facebook and know immediately that I could help them, I can't unless I get their permission. So we can't just reach out, even though we can see it, unless we have someone's ongoing permission that if they want to do some work on, they will allow them to do it. But we can't just do it on anyone. So first is definitely asking their permission. And next?
Our next one is proxy. And proxy means that you are giving us permission to ask your subconscious mind on your behalf. It's kind of like going to a meeting or something and you can't make it, and you're just giving someone else the ability to ask or vote on your behalf. That's what we mean by proxy.
Exactly. So once we have your permission, we ask if we can have your proxy. And the next thing that we're going to ask you before we start working on you is, what's the severity of the situation? And I believe our viewer today has indicated that it's a 10. So this is usually where we're working, in that area of 8, 9, and 10. And Helena, sometimes I know I've got clients that say they're at a 3 or a 4. And I know you do too. So what do we do just to check on that?
Well, we make sure we ask the subconscious mind, their subconscious mind, for a number, and often it's an 8, 9, or a 10, because if anything that's come to the forefront and you're wanting an emotion code session about it, it's going to have some emotional impact, so it's going to be intense.
Yeah, exactly. And then we will test it even once we ask, and then we'll also test at the end once we've done our muscle testing.
That's right, the muscle testing.
Muscle testing.
Yeah. Muscle testing is a technique that allows us to ask the subconscious mind for answers to yes or no questions. And the way I do my muscle testing is, my agreement with my subconscious mind is when I link my 2 fingers together into a circle. And then when I have a yes, they link together. When I think about the word no, they just fall apart, slip apart.
Exactly. And again, you can go to Dr. Bradley's book, The Emotion Code. He's got several different ways to do it. The way I do mine is um, index and thumb together. So that, and I take my index and thumb on the other hand. And this is a yes for me. And as Helena said, we can only ask yes or no questions. We can't go on, and describe certain things and ask, what about this, or how do you think this will turn out? We can't answer the how, when, why things. It's either yes or no. And when it's a no for me, then my hand just goes like that. And we're tapping into that subconscious.
That subconscious mind. Hey, Janet, can I just share this one little graphic here that I have?
Yes, perfect.
The iceberg model demonstrating that there's a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. And the part of the iceberg that's above the water is the conscious mind, which is about 5 or 10%. And the conscious mind is our logical, our analytical, our willpower, our what we think we're thinking with and acting with, but actually it's the 90%, 95% of the subconscious mind that's in charge. That's where our beliefs lie, our morals, our ethics, our imagination, and all of our memories. And that's where the habits and are in. And so when we are able to tap into the subconscious mind and work with the emotions, releasing the trapped negative emotions that are there, we're able to move forward in life.
Yeah, absolutely. So Helena, there's just a question that Leslie Marshall has posed, so I'm just going to read it and we can answer it. When you were first learning the emotion code, how did you get people to let you practice? I have the book and have read it, but I'm having a hard time getting people to take it seriously and let me practice on them. So I don't know, Leslie, if you've actually signed up to become certified, or if it's just something, you could let us know. If it's just something that you're doing on your own and you want to practice on people, maybe let us know that and then we can answer that. Good morning, Grace. She's one of my clients who's just starting to do some of her own videos and potentially a Facebook Live show down the road for her. Susan Darnell saying, you look great, Helena. Nice to have friends like that, right? All right, so let's carry on with the 7 keys. So we're doing the muscle testing. What are we doing it on?
We're actually asking the subconscious mind about the emotion code chart. The emotion code chart is the chart that has the 60 negative trapped emotions listed out. It's listed out in 2 columns, A and B, odd rows and even rows. So when I do the work today, I'll be asking if there's a trapped emotion column A or B. Is it an odd row or is it an even row? And then we'll get down to 1 cell of 5 emotions, and then I'll ask individually if it's which one it is.
Right.
And then we'll release it. And if I don't get a clear answer, I'll ask if it is an inherited emotion. And that's an emotion that was passed down through the generations at the time of conception. And I love finding that. So if you see me swiping over my head with a cue the magnet.
It's upside down, Helena.
The magnet.
Yeah.
You see me swiping 10 times with that?
That's inherited. Yeah. So we use the magnets. They're very important, although sometimes I have a favorite spot down at the beach near me, and I've found a bench that's kind of private. So I've been doing a lot of emotion code sessions there because I have on my phone, I have the emotion code app. And even if I don't have my magnets there, your hand is magnetic. So you can actually use that to demagnetize once you find the emotions. But if I do have my magnets, these are the ones that I use. I use different ones. I have a really nice $100 magnet, $100 bill magnet for working with people on lack and abundance and money and business abundance and that. But as Helena said, we'll just take the magnets, and what we're doing is once that emotion is identified, it's coming up energetically, right? Because again, it's energy. And what's this all about? A lemon.
Oh, a lemon. I have a lemon too.
Yeah.
What that is representing is the energetic ball that is physically lodged in
Yeah.
the body. It can be in
We're
your
gonna pull it up.
shoulder, your gut, your knee, your leg, your head, wherever. But that's the negative trapped emotion, that's the unprocessed emotion that's stuck in the physical system. And once we identify it off of the emotion code chart, it actually pops out into our energetic system. And then using the magnet with our intention to
Yes,
wipe it
exactly.
away, clear it away.
Yeah. Oh, and that's something I forgot to mention that Helene and I both have an emotion code prayer that we always say. In fact, I have mine on my phone as well, so I can do it, although I kind of know it by heart by now. But yeah, it's all about setting that intention, because what you have to do is get connected with divine energy, with source, with creator, God, whatever we think it is, but we know we're not doing the work. The work is being done through us, right? And it's going into the other person's, it's from their subconscious to us if we are being their proxy. So when we take the magnet, there are all sorts of energy centers all over our body. A lot of people are familiar with, the 7 chakras, but there's actually hundreds of chakras, and there's hundreds of energetic pressure points. There's meridians all over our body. So when we release the energy, we're working with the governing meridian, which actually, when we're doing it, we start sort of from just above the lip, goes over the head to the base of our neck. If someone is there with us, then we will run this all the way down their back to the end of their spine. But when we're just doing it like this, then that's from that governing meridian over the head, like that.
Mhm.
So that's our magnet. And then, what's one of the really important things?
Hydration. Hydration. Drinking water.
Yeah.
Water allows energy to flow more freely. It will give us the accurate muscle testing results. If any of you are out there learning the emotion code or practicing the emotion code, and not getting quite the answers you're looking for, they're kind of confusing, just drink more water. And Dan and I will always ask if we're hydrated enough. And what's really interesting is I'm doing the work, I find that my clients, my emotion code clients, are wanting to drink as well.
Yeah, and water is so key um, for all of us, right? I mean, it's something that there, for us, we're very fortunate. It's very plentiful for us, and it's very fresh. And you can get all different types of water, but I think the most important thing is to be drinking water. Another reason that the muscle testing may not be accurate, according to Dr. Nelson, is if your spine is out of alignment, or if you have alignments in your body. So we can check that as well, but usually it's if both of us are drinking water and we're nice and hydrated, we can check that right away for that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So oops, Chris is just letting us know that she's in the States. Yeah, Michigan, right. Sunny day here. I'm in Vancouver, and Helena's on Vancouver Island. Sunny day.
Yes, it's a beautiful day.
Yes, gorgeous day. We're loving it. Yeah.
Oh,
And
Dana, today, this morning, I walked outside and my apple trees, I have 5 apple trees in my backyard. What a big difference from moving from a condo in the city to more like farmland. But
yeah.
they're starting to blossom, the
Oh,
most
nice.
beautiful little blossoms yet.
And they're so fragrant as well. Yeah, lovely. All right. So Helena is going to go ahead and start working on PL. She's given us information. I don't see her here, although I did see her just join, but you have enough information about her. So just kind of an overview about what you're going to do with procrastination, because I think when I was working with you in the beginning, Helena, there might have been a little bit of tendency to procrastination.
Maybe, or maybe I was just being so chaotic that
Yeah,
there was no clarity or focus. I was so busy taking all these action steps.
yeah.
So,
And Helena, I just remembered that one of our very first videos that we did um, in our studio downstairs was you were 5 minutes late always. And so go ahead and talk a little bit about that. But that video will be on it's also on our websites, which will give you the URL at the end. But yeah, that was one of the first ones where we demonstrated that you were always procrastinating, just, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. And it's like, Helena, you're late, right?
Yes, yes. And so that was fantastic. So now I'm on time or even a little bit early, which is just fantastic. And things still come up, but I'm actually like, last minute things. Oh, I got to do this, or I could do this, and I actually am finding that I'm just leaving it and going, no, no, I've made an agreement to be somewhere at a certain time, and I'm going to honor that agreement. And that's something I'm going to be working on today, because the procrastination that Payal was experiencing, one of them is sleeping in the morning, just sleeping for 5 more minutes, but maybe 5 or 6 more times. And that was making her late for the work that she wants to do. I've been there. I know what it feels like. And so let's see if there's any trapped emotions that we can release to allow Pale to arrive at work on time and or early.
Okay, all right. And while you do that, Helena, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the chaos cycle. So
Great.
I learned about this several years ago, and the reason that I thought it was so perfect for today was because you may be a procrastinator, but there may be reasons for it. So there are times when we do want to slow down and we don't want to jump in and do things. And I'm going to explain this through the chaos cycle. So there's 4 stages of the chaos cycle. So chaos, the creative cycle, R&R, which is rest and relaxation, and then taking action. So when you're in this chaos cycle, and we all go through the cycle throughout our entire life. How long you stay in chaos or any of these cycles is determined by your personality, what you're working on, what's going on in your life, what you're doing in your work. Do you love it? Do you not love it? Do you try and avoid it as much as you can? So with chaos, when you're in this chaos cycle, everything is chaotic. There's too many things going on. You're totally feeling overwhelmed, like you need to do this, 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 you need to do this. And it's like, whoa, that's just way too much. So just know that that's a phase, and that is a phase where you will remain stuck. That's not procrastination. That just means you don't have the clarity to move forward yet. So once the chaos sort of settles, because it will settle at some point, and emotion code is perfect for getting rid of some of those chaotic emotions and things that are keeping you stuck. Once you go from chaos, then you go into the creative phase. So once you get into that, you can take all this chaos that was going on and be very selective about what it is you really think you want to do moving forward. So now you're going to have some options lined up in front of you. And you're not going to feel so panicked. You're not going to feel like, you're being held by the throat here and you just don't know what to do and you can't breathe. This is where we want you to breathe. So put all the creative ideas out, but before you go into action, what we want you to do is take some R&R. And in law of attraction lingo, this is where we want you to allow things to happen, because as I read in the during Virtue card today about ask, it's just saying, be patient, allow things. You have free will, so take some time. So this can be self-care. This R&R could literally be a vacation. It might be you taking a few days off of what it is, the pressures of life, or where it is you feel you have to make a decision, but we want you to step back from it. And for me, a lot of if I'm looking for R&R, I'm going to go someplace where there's water. So I might be going to, we've got a beautiful place called Whistler in BC, which I like to go up there in the summer. It's got a lot of lakes there. And it's so there's the the fun part of it. There's lots of restaurants and things to do and shopping, but the beauty is the hikes, the walks, the trees, and the lake. There's other places that I like. Harrison Hot Springs is beautiful. Or sometimes I'll just need a quick R&R day, and I might just go down to the beach, one of the beaches that is here as well, or go for a drive to a beach. So whatever your R&R looks like, that means rest and relax. Whatever that rest and relax looks like to you, right? It might be in the form of maybe just some fun shopping or spending time with girlfriends or male friends, or going to a few movies, maybe going to theater, things that you haven't done, but something where you're not just having to decide what is your next move. And so once you've gone through the chaos, the creative phase, you've taken a little time out, you're just kind of chilling, you're breathing, nice in and out breaths, that's when you can move into action. So a lot of people, unfortunately, sometimes try and go from chaos into action. It's going to backfire. You have to give the universe the time to get things lined up. And if the universe has too many requests from you, like, oh, this or this or this or this or this, it's not going to be able to do anything, because it's going to feel the chaos that's in your beliefs and your words. So no going from chaos to action, no going from the creative right into action. Go through the whole cycle, and then when you get into action, that's when you decide what it is do you need to do. So this is where I like to talk about, once you've got the clarity, and you can use the first step of the deliberate attraction process, which is deciding what it is you want, right? Making a decision is an important positive vibration. And then doing a clarity through contrast worksheet is very helpful as well. So once you get the clarity, then you can get the focus. So all those things that you had on your plate, maybe you had 5 or 6 of them, maybe all of a sudden they come down, so they're 2 or 1. Now you can move forward. So you've got focus. What is it you want to do? And then you can decide, well, what are the action steps that you're going to take to move forward? So there is legitimate procrastination. You could be in this chaos, and it's like, you know what? I'm just not ready to make a decision. That's good procrastination. But if you're finding that you are procrastinating about life, about doing things, that maybe the job you're in sucks the life out of you, maybe you've just got so much on your plate, you need to take some time out for yourself. So, that's legitimate procrastination. But when you are doing things that you don't want to do, you show up late for things, I mean, there's reasons for that. You're kind of telling the universe, I don't really want to be here. I haven't really made the commitment. So, there's ways also to find out, what your life purpose is. Where do you feel fulfilled in your job, in your career? And also sacred gifts. I guide people through a program called Discover Your Sacred Gifts. And in that, there's 24 sacred gifts. We all have 3 to 5 of them. So find out what your gifts are if you're in that career transition right now. Maybe it's a bit too early to be jumping ship, and you need to do a little bit more investigation to find out what you would really love to do. So that's our educational piece on the Emotion Code Divas today about the chaos cycle. So Helena, looks like you are finished there. So what came up for Payel?
Actually, quite a few, but the very first one, which was interesting, was an inherited trapped emotion from Payel's mother's father, and it was shock. And shock often comes up when we're not doing something, and so that released, and then it really flowed from there. I got to a point where very soon I released probably about 12 different emotions, but one of them was low self-esteem. And I know, Dana, you feel this also, but when we're connected with someone, we're doing work, sometimes I feel physical symptoms.
Yes.
And I started to feel incredibly nauseous, like sick to my stomach, low self-esteem. And as I released that, I kind of had to sit with it, and it went away. Um, and then the next one after that was confusion. And confusion just, when I released it, or it came up and I released it, I just needed to take a moment and let that
Mm-hmm.
sort of settle in and or settle out. And it just makes so much sense with what you were talking about with the chaos cycle. And another trapped emotion that was really intense, what I felt was intense, was indecisiveness. When we decide to
Yes.
do something, we take action and it just gets done. But when we are kind of thinking about it or hoping, there's no energy there. But when we decide to do something, we do it. It's like trying to be on time or
Yeah.
deciding to be on time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so lots of things. We started out at a level 10, got to a 1, let it sit for a second, and I did a
Yeah.
couple more, and we're down to a 0. So PL, I'm believing that you're going to be deciding to show up at work on time.
Great.
I'm
And
saying,
Payal, feel free to leave comments in the post as well. And Helena, maybe we should just talk a little bit about processing what can happen for people, especially when they're stronger emotions like shock or anger or ones like that have come up, and it's maybe a pretty traumatic situation for some person.
yeah, yeah, excellent. Let's just even give the best example. So some of my clients just feel so light and free and happy and ready to move forward. I had another client who the 2 days were feeling great, and the third day, all of a sudden, a
Oh, wow.
whole bunch of anger, frustration, and she just found herself in her car yelling and screaming and just for about 15 minutes. And then it was just like, ah, it was out. It really,
Well, that's
really
not a
got out.
bad thing.
No, it's not,
Yeah.
because all that frustration and anger and yelling and screaming was held inside the body. So now it is out. And she came in for another emotion code session a week later in a completely different headspace, ready to move forward, seeing the opportunities that are all
Oh,
around her.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I just want to say something about that car. I was going through something quite traumatic and serious in my life, and I had the emotion of feeling angry. So I was in my car and I did a little yelling. Two things happened. One, I hurt my throat, and two, I realized that I had to apologize to my car after and so, I opened all the windows and everything and let all that energy go because I didn't, if you think of it, that energy is still going to stay in that space. So it's good to, clear it out. And if you're doing it in your car, then I suggest open up all the windows and let it rip from there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. So just
Mm.
going to, Leslie Marshall just answered us. Now, this is really interesting because we're just talking about trying and well, we didn't talk about lack and abundance, but Leslie, and this is common, ladies. I mean, we hear this all the time, right? I'm just trying to learn this right now. So she's wanting to learn the emotion code. I don't know if she doesn't know if she'll take the certification, and I'm having a hard time with attracting the money I need to do those fun and interesting things. And then she said, LOL, still trying to learn the law of attraction. So I'm just going to pull out one of my basic law of attraction teaching uh, tools here, right? So, Leslie, get rid of all those negative words that you've got in there, and I want you to change that. I'm in the process of determining if the emotion code certification is the right path for me. And I'm in the process of attracting people that I can practice on. And, by that, you're changing your words, you're changing your thoughts, your beliefs, you're changing the vibes to something more positive, which is going to change the result. So I know when I was looking for people to practice on, I've got quite a few friends in Facebook. So I posted it in Facebook. There's a number of groups that I'm in as well, and I posted it. So I did manage to get a lot of people. So Helena, what method did you use to find your practice clients?
Sure. I actually made a video explaining the
Okay.
emotion code process, and I posted it to my website and my Facebook page, and then also posted on Facebook. I asked my neighbors.
Hmm.
I have quite a lot of hypnosis clients
Yes.
that were open to doing a session on Skype or Messenger. I got friends in the United States and over in Europe, and so I just reached out to people and said I'm working with this energy healing technique, and it's amazing. All I would like is, 15, 20 minutes of your time, and we can meet Skype or Zoom or
Right.
Messenger or text me. Come to my house, let's have coffee,
Yeah.
tea. But the video really helped because it just
Oh,
gave
good.
them a
Okay.
super clean
Good. Okay, so
understanding.
Leslie, hopefully that will help you or anybody else that's thinking about, or anyone else that's in the process of becoming an emotion code practitioner.
Yeah.
So we're just going to end our show by letting you know what we've got going on for next month of May. A very interesting one. These are topics that both Helene and I have clients for. So we're going to be talking about releasing weight.
hmm We're going to be talking about releasing excess weight.
Yeah.
And
So cravings, portion size, unconscious eating, and then we'll just talk about some good habits, but also we've got holidays coming up. What do we have? We'll have Mother's Day, Father's Day in June. There's always a holiday, right?
there's
There's going to be
always,
birthday parties, that sort of thing. So we're going to be talking about and working on someone that wants to release some excess weight. So if you're interested and you haven't had one of our free complimentary emotion code sessions on the Emotion Code Diva show, just go ahead and sign up because we like to work with new people and give everybody an opportunity to experience what we're doing. So, Payal, if you want to let us know, just post in Facebook on this site, TEC Divas, to let us know what shifts you feel and how you are feeling. And Helena, how can people reach you?
people can reach me through my hypnosis website, which is flourishhypnosis.com. And for the emotion code information, /emotion dash code.
Right. Thank you. And you have a YouTube channel. It's under Flourish Hypnosis as well.
I do, and I also have a Facebook page, and I post lots of fun, interesting information, free information about hypnosis and tapping into the power of your mind on that Facebook page.
Great. Excellent. All right. And you can find me at empoweredwomeninbusiness.com /emotion hyphen code. And I have also a YouTube channel which has a lot of law of attraction tips on it, uh, information about sacred gifts, your life's purpose, and the emotion code Divas. So you just need to look at the playlist to see what's there. So thanks so much for joining us, and we'd love for you to share this, invite your friends to sign up and like our page, and we will see you next Wednesday. We're here every Wednesday at 9:30 Pacific time. So bye for
Bye.
now.
Bye-bye.